What is your American dream?
I'm from the Philippines. My American dream is to have a job wherein I can help people to achieve their dreams, which is the most important thing for me.
I'm American. I was born in New York, and my American dream is to constantly learn and grow and use whatever God's given me to help as many people as I can.
I'm from Belgium, and my American dream is to bring laughter and joy into people's lives through comedy.
My family background is West Indian with roots in Curacao, Guyana, and Puerto Rico. My American dream is to live in a country where everybody loves and respects one another.
My background is Irish and African American. My American dream would be to make enough to live a happy and fulfilling life.
Everyone has a right to the American dream.
Oh! Hello! You caught me chewing on some hay. Yep, that's the groundhog way of brushing my teeth. I either chew on branches or hay. Why, do you ask, am I chewing on hay today? Because Farmer Joe Del Bosque, president of Del Bosque Farms in California, was on Bradshaw Live yesterday talking about how the crackdown on undocumented immigrants is hurting the profession of farming in America. And Farmer Joe said specifically that Groundhog Sam is welcome at his farm. I'm so excited.
We would invite your groundhog to come out here and see his shadow and go back under.
All right.
But do it early, like in January.
I'm planning a trip to California soon. Thus the hay. Farmer Del Bosque was very interesting and informative. And then Miami field correspondent Anna Ascona did another segment of That Just Doesn't Make Any Sense, talking about how the state of Arizona is pulling in-state tuition rates for college for DACA students. It just doesn't make any sense. Anyway, what's on today's show? Well, watch and see.
And we are live! And welcome everybody to Bradshaw Live on a Tuesday. Beautiful day here in New York City. And of course, I'm being joined by the ever beautiful, ever more beautiful on a daily basis. You seem to be getting more beautiful by the moment. Belgies Kim. Belgies Kim, yes. And Jonathan, not so beautiful, but a handsome man, Jonathan Yo-Yo Elias. Welcome everybody, and of course to all the beautiful Brad squad. Butter Anthony, Dolly Supermom. Have not heard from her in a long time, Dolly.
That's true.
Right? Where have you been, Dolly?
We've missed
Well, hello, Dolly.
There it is. I was waiting for it.
You were waiting for that one, right?
It's like that's going to bust out his show tunes at any minute.
Thank you. And Sea Salt, hello. And Christy Consali, always saying hello to her. Lisa Bling Rose. Nezzy wants more. You're going to get a lot more today, Nezzy, I can tell you that. Beverly Thompson. Belgium Kim says hello. Yes. Willie Williams says hello. Nicola Kramer, good evening to you all. And of course on Bradshaw Live, Demba Sal, first one to say hello. He's been popping in very, very early these days. Nice. Cheryl Blake, hello. Patrona Collins, Velma Gale, Tamika Nelson. All right, we forgave her for leaving early. Carol Anderson, the Tiger. Barbara Lord, Groundhog Sam, always saying hello.
He's busy. He's a busy little rodent.
Busy little beaver, as they say. Tanisha McNabb, hello. Barbara Lord. Who else we got to say hello? Reginald Amata. Do we know Reginald Amata?
We do. Reginald is a big time question asker. Reginald's always
always asking questions,
yeah.
But he's always popping in later, so I don't see him in the hellos.
That's true.
Maybe. Oh, what is this?
Hello.
Look at you.
Look at me, Dwayne The Rock Johnson, running right through there. Carrie Ann Wallace. Who else? Dionne Watson. Christy Consali watching on both feeds as usual. Jella Shauna, how you doing? Marsha Whitaker. And who else we got here? Jeff Bosey finally saying hello there. Tanetso Bless Robinson. Smiley Smith. Chin Carter.
Chin Carter.
You know Chin?
No.
Not familiar with
Not
Chin.
familiar with Chin. Hello,
Hey,
Chin.
Chin.
Let's give everybody, Brad
Jersey
Squad,
City.
give Chin a big hello.
from
I
Jersey City.
I don't know if it's Chin is a woman or a man. I can't tell.
Woman.
It's a woman. Give everybody,
Really?
Brad Squad, please welcome Chin to the squad. And who else we got here? Anybody else interesting? A lot of interesting people. Yvonne Steele.
Chin Carter, she's saying share.
Wow, she's she's coming right in there.
She is.
And of course, Tanisha McNabb. Welcome everybody. And Belgium Kim, Jonathan, what's going on?
Hi.
What's up, Brad?
I don't know. I'm asking you.
Are you asking us?
Yeah, I'm asking you.
know.
I'm the one with the cards in the hand, but I'm asking you.
That's true.
So apparently, the woman-hating van driver in Toronto was not a Muslim extremist, as they were widely reported on Fox News and many other. Turns out that he was just a very sick, demented Asperger's person who was just sick and mental. And hated women and decided he wanted to run up on the curb and kill women.
Wow.
And his name is Alec Minison, 25. He was named as a suspect. He was the person in the van, and he went to court today. 10 people have been killed. One of them has been named already, Anne-Marie D'Amico. She was an employee at Invesco Investment Company. The victims also include a Seneca College student, a Jordanian citizen, 2 South Koreans.
Wow.
Apparently he had a fixation with the Santa Barbara shooter, Elliot Rodger. If you remember the Santa Barbara shooter, that was the person who went into the government office, I believe. Is that who it was?
Or a home health
place or something. Right.
Yeah, but he also hated women.
He was a college person. You know what? You forget there are so many shooters now.
Right.
You don't even remember who's the shooter anymore.
Yeah.
And then you watch Fox News, and they scare the hell out of you.
Yeah.
Okay? Yeah. Fox Alert! Yeah. And it's in big red, and it's alert! And you're like, holy cow, the world's coming to an end. And then it spreads around the world and gives all crazy people ideas. I mean, when you think about it, I don't like to watch Fox News. The reason I watch it sometimes is just to hear the other side, to hear what they're saying.
Get the perspective.
Just to get a different perspective. And they scare the bejesus out of you. Every time. They scare based on what they're saying, and then they scare with these stupid news alerts. You're so anxious.
Right.
By the time you hate the world, by the time
I
can't watch it anymore. I can't watch it anymore.
No.
Meanwhile, Donald Trump, you know about that famous Steele dossier where he was supposedly urinated on by some Russian prostitutes. And apparently, according to the Steele dossier, there's Putin and Trump. I don't know if they're talking about this specific Steele situation about him getting urinated on or not. They could be having that discussion. I'm not exactly sure what they're talking about at that right there. But there was a Steele dossier, and Steele was a former British operative who wrote a secret brief about Trump, and in it it claims that when he was at the Miss Universe pageant in Moscow that he owned, that he stayed overnight and met some Russian prostitutes, thanks to Vladimir Putin, and he asked the Russian prostitutes to either pee on each other, pee on him, pee on the bed. We're not exactly sure where the urine was going.
What he was telling them?
This is maybe what he's telling him.
He's proposing it.
Vladimir is very happy to hear about this. Look how happy President Trump is going, my sheets were soaking wet, and I couldn't sleep that night, and Vladimir is well happy to hear this, right?
I know.
So apparently this was what was in this dossier, and the guy who wrote it says it's absolutely true. Now, the reason why this is all coming out now several years later is because Trump asked Comey right before he was fired, the FBI director, to go tell Melania that what was in the Steele dossier was not true. That's what Comey says in his book. He says, Trump says, listen, I got a problem with Melania.
Right.
You know nobody peed on me in Moscow. You know, as a matter of fact, I didn't even sleep over in Moscow.
Sure.
I didn't even sleep. I flew in, I flew out. The only pee was, in the toilet by myself. Nobody was there. So he said to Comey, please tell Melania this. This is what Comey reports in his book. And Comey says, I don't know, how can I report this? I have no idea if it's true or not.
Right.
So now Bloomberg, who, by the way, Bloomberg may be running for president in 2020. So, everything has to be taken with a grain of salt. Now, Bloomberg News is reporting that flight records contradict Donald Trump. Now, we don't know whether or not anyone actually peed on the man or not, or there was any pee whatsoever. But we do know that, according to Bloomberg, he did sleep over in Moscow the night of the purported peeing.
So when he says he didn't lie about that, he lying for a reason.
Why couldn't he just say, yes, I slept over, but nobody peed on me?
Because if he slept
right?
over,
I mean, couldn't he have said that?
He could have.
He could have said that.
Believed it.
I don't know.
No, nobody would have.
Right.
Brad's like, I spend nights at places all the time and never get peed on. It's
I've never
amazing
been
how
known.
easy
But
it is.
Brad isn't being accused of that action.
Right.
So that's the thing.
But it's a fair point. Like, I stayed.
So in Comey, in his book, he wrote, the president brought up the golden shower thing and said it really bothered him if his wife had any doubt about it. He then explained, as he did at our dinner twice, he explained to Comey, he did not stay overnight in Russia. Can you please tell Melania this? And apparently, he has stayed overnight, not only Friday night, but perhaps even Saturday night, but definitely the Friday night.
That's when it all happened.
So now Trump's timeline of the peeing incident is in serious doubt.
Sheesh.
Because it was the jet owned by Trump's business partner, Phil Rufin, departed Asheville, North Carolina on a Thursday night, arrived Friday, November 8th in Moscow, and it left, I am not making this up, this is what's written here, and it left in the wee hours. I'm reading what you wrote. It left Moscow in the wee hours of Sunday morning at 3:58. Pun intended, and left in the wee hours. Golly is right. I don't think. By the way, when Trump was being peed on in Moscow, I don't think the words "golly" really came out of his mouth. I don't think that's what would have happened.
Wee hours.
Oh, I don't know. Are they laughing or are they booing at me?
Laughing.
They were laughing. I don't know. Laughing. Okay.
I think we need a little bit more.
More laughter. That looked like they were booing me.
Tamika said we got a freaky president.
We do have a freaky president. Can you imagine we got to spend 5 minutes talking about whether he got peed on or not?
Our president.
Oh my
Real
God.
R. Kelly like.
Right, we are.
You know what we should do? I wonder if we're able.
Oof.
Are we able to take a poll?
Poll?
Can we poll?
We could poll right now.
Can you poll?
You got it.
Ask Bradshaw Live.
Yeah.
And ask the Spar and Bernstein people who are watching both on Spar and Bernstein and Bradshaw Live.
Mm-hmm.
Did Donald Trump get peed on? Yes or no? Let's see what they think.
Okay.
Now, given this information, given this new information, you know what? Let's have a better question.
Okay.
Let's take that back. Given this new information that Donald Trump has lied about staying overnight in Moscow, he told Comey twice, tell Melania, I didn't stay overnight, there was no peeing involved, and given the fact now that Bloomberg News, a very reputable news company, is reporting that the flight logs of the plane that Trump took flew into Moscow Friday morning and left in the wee hours of Sunday morning. Okay, given this information now, has this changed your stream of thought?
No.
Has this changed your stream of thought on whether or not Donald Trump was peed on in Moscow? He claims he was not overnight there, and he spent possibly 2 evenings there. Is the stream of thought, Has that changed, Belgium Kim?
Listen.
Did you? I know you didn't give much thought to this ahead of time.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because we don't really go through our day here thinking, I wonder if our president got peed on. I mean, it's not really what we really think about here at the Bradshaw Live. It's nothing.
Pee on the hair.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think it's like what we really think about here. I don't remember having a conversation with you about this ever.
I don't think we've had.
But has this now changed your thought on whether or not the man likes golden showers?
I have the same thought.
He has never not liked golden showers. Whether or not he's in Moscow or not, I think he likes golden showers everywhere.
He likes golden showers everywhere.
I think he does.
So you feel that it's not that he's indiscriminate on his golden showers. That it could be Russians, it could be, Jamaicans one day, Americans, Irish, Italians. He'll get peed on by anybody.
The one time he doesn't discriminate is when he's getting golden
peed
showers.
on. That's what you believe. Yeah. All right, this show is going down the toilet right now.
Down the drain, if you will.
This is going right down the toilet. All right. So that's what's going on in the world. In the world of Donald Trump. I thought the funniest is he left in the wee hours.
Yeah.
Pun intended.
All right. Meanwhile, ICE busted 225 people during their 6-day raid in New York. 225 people got arrested. They announced between April 9th and April 14th. 45 of the people who were busted by ICE had absolutely no criminal record whatsoever.
Whoa.
180 of them had been convicted of some criminal offense, whether it was petty or serious, we don't know. And obviously, we're all in favor of making sure we're safe. Nobody wants people who walking down the street, whether they were born in America or born in another country, to be dangerous and put me at risk or put my family at risk or put you at risk. Nobody wants that. Whether they're immigrants, green card holders, nobody wants any of that.
Right.
Okay. However, when it's indiscriminate, when it's just random people being picked up without thought to what kind of families are you destroying, and who are you ripping apart, and how are you ripping apart families and maybe even businesses and employees who are hardworking at businesses? That's where we have problems.
Yeah.
It's the indiscriminate nature of it all that we have a big problem with here on the Bradshaw Live.
Yeah.
Jonathan, what do you think about that?
I agree.
You agree?
I have a lot of family that are immigrants, and whether they are green card holders or citizens or whatever, but none of them have gone to jail, but some have been, deported back. And
you've had relatives who were deported back.
Yeah.
Can you tell me why?
Just didn't do their paperwork. It wasn't, it wasn't really anything they knew about. They didn't really have the knowledge of it. You say, oh yeah, this is what you have to do, this is what you have to do, but they didn't take it that serious.
Did you know them?
When I was younger.
When you were younger?
Yeah, this was a lot of this happened when I was younger. So my mom actually started studying a lot more into it. So, because that happened, so all of the family that came in, when I got older, she made sure they went in for the paperwork. She went in with them. So so that's why it sucks when these 45 people that had no criminal records, we don't know what they were doing, if they were actually working, helping the city out, or
Belgium Kim, you were born in Belgium.
I was.
You have relatives who are here in America. Any of your relatives deported?
No.
No.
None of my relatives deported. Most likely, I would say, because we look like this, because we are Europeans.
You have a lot of relatives here who were born in Belgium.
Yes, I have. Not a lot. I have 3 relatives here that were born in Belgium. And as a matter of fact, my mom, who's been living here for about almost 20 years now, is going back to Belgium. And she has her re-entry permit just in case she wants to come back. But for now, she's really, really scared of this climate. And she's scared of, even as a green card holder, what that could mean for her. That was a whole.
That was a whole mess.
That was a whole mess of a situation that happened.
Just looked at it and didn't react, but said,
that was a whole mess right there. Yeah. So basically, the wire that allows me to take everybody's telephone calls just got ripped off my computer. We'll go fix that in a second. But you know, I was interesting, and we're going to take your calls in a second once I fix all of this. I promise you. What was interesting is I read an article about a study that was done, and I'm just curious because I know we haven't discussed this at all. Yeah. And it was a study done by a very by a prestigious university. I forgot which one. I think it was one of the Ivy League universities, and they did a study, a questionnaire of the Trump voters, and the theory being, you know, the white middle class Trump voter. The theory being, and this just came out recently, the theory being that the Trump voter was voting for Trump for economic reasons. They were scared they were going to lose their job, and they were scared that they wouldn't make as much money, and they wanted the tax cut and blah blah blah. Right. And that was what the prevailing thought was in, you know, CNN, Fox News, MSNBC, Bloomberg News, New York Times. But what these researchers came out with, because, and I forgot about it, because I just read about this the other day, and I didn't forget about it, but I forgot to mention it on the show until you just told me no one got deported because you were white and you weren't. Right. And what the researchers came out and said was that the middle class white Trump voter, they were really voting because they were scared they were going to lose their white privilege. Not that's what was motivating them to vote for Trump, was not I lost my job, it was a fear of the future that I will lose my privilege as a white person in America.
That's insane.
That's insane, but that's really what was going through their mind.
I can see that.
Right.
Isn't that crazy? Yeah. When I read that, I'm like, totally makes sense.
Not surprising.
It totally makes sense to me, and I didn't give it any thought. I wish I would have. I wish I was smart enough to figure that one out. But I didn't. But I read this. I go, that makes sense to me.
It makes sense.
Right. Because if you think about it, he was, what was he saying? You know, immigrants are rapists. Muslims are blowing us up. He was favoring the protesters in Charlottesville. Yeah. Think about all the things he did that were racially tinged and motivated, and he you know, and then his supporters would say, well, yeah, he didn't say anything racist. He would go right up to the edge. Maybe he would even go over the edge sometimes.
Dip his toe
in, maybe dip his whole foot in, but not dip his whole body in.
No.
Okay, you know, because, you know, then, you know, after he didn't say anything for 3 days about the KKK, you know, supporting him, then he says, oh yeah, I'm not a big supporter of the KKK. And really what he was doing was he was tapping into people's fears that minorities, immigrants, people of different color are going to take away whatever they believe is their privilege or their status here in the United States of America. And that's what drove people to vote for Donald Trump, despite the fact that there's not a human being who even voted for him who says he's not saying crazy stuff. He's you know, he's illogical, he's unreasonable, he's all over the board. You don't know what he's going to do, you don't know what he's going to think.
Right.
And almost to a T, you know, even women who are white, what drove them more to is the loss of their white privilege than the fact that they're a woman and he's a misogynist.
Yeah. That just blows my mind.
I'm going to let you comment about that while I fix all this.
How do you feel about that, Kim? Like, you being a woman and
I honestly that was the one thing that I could not wrap my head around in the election growing up in the South. Part of me was really afraid that Trump was going to get elected. So before the election happened, I was a little bit fearful that this was a thing that was going to happen. But I really thought women were going to pull it out. Like, women and minorities were going to be the ones that were going to get Hillary elected. And that's the thing that really surprises me. And that makes total sense as to why that didn't happen, is because your fear of losing your white privilege, because in a lot of ways our white privilege offers us more benefits than being a woman obviously does. So That's a great point.
I don't know. It was that fear, according to this study, if you believe the authors. And I'm curious what people think.
Yeah.
Because I found it very interesting.
I believe it.
You believe it?
Yeah.
I didn't think about it that way. I always thought it was like an economic thing, that people thought that minorities and immigrants were coming to take their job. But when you think about it, and I was always yelling for the last year, hey, coal miners, no one's coming to take your job from Mexico. What are you talking about? And then, because it made no logical sense to me, Mexican immigrants not running across the border to go work in a coal mine in West Virginia. It was more about their white privilege than an immigrant taking their job. But they couched it. Nobody would ever admit. Nobody would ever admit that it's my white privilege that I'm scared I'm going to lose. Right. So. And
I feel like the administration actually, that's what they wanted them to feel. I feel like it was almost like a subliminal message type of thing. Like at the forefront, they were saying, "Oh yeah, it's economic reasons why you should vote for me." But like all of the little reasons why they should was basically making America great again. It's like restoring your white privilege back.
That's basically it. Was all
I think it was
all code words and subliminal.
Yeah.
And and honestly, I until I read it, I didn't get it.
Yeah.
And maybe Trump got it. And
I'm sure.
pulled the wool over my eyes.
Yeah.
But I didn't get it till I read this study. And this was they asked questions in a way that people didn't understand how they were answering it. They were giving their true, honest feeling, and it all had to do with being scared that in the future, not now, not that I lost my job, not that I have an economic problem, especially coming from an era where there was a black president for 8 years.
Right.
Think about it.
Yeah.
Think about it.
It's just like you were saying, fear-mongering works.
Yeah.
Just like you were saying.
All right, so any event.
We got deep there.
Shoot in the breeze.
That was not breezy.
Thanks a lot.
By the way, former President George Bush is still alive. All right, so as of, his wife died. It was very sad that, I was just going to talk about a whole thing about love today, and we went off on racial, because I was going to have a whole conversation about love, about it. Isn't that so beautiful that his wife passed away? I mean, it's not beautiful that his wife passed away, but it's so beautiful that his wife passed away, and then he got sick right after. He almost passed away. He's in intensive care right now. We don't know what's going to happen with him right after the fact.
Somebody said that picture right there looks like the new cast for X-Men.
The group picture.
That picture there.
I can't wait for the new X-Men.
That's very funny. That's very funny.
Look at Melania smiling. Did you see the video of Trump trying to hold her hand today?
Oh, Jill showed it to me.
No, do we have a video of that?
So awkward.
Do we have a video of
that?
I
don't know, because it literally, there was a picture that came out at 5:26 or something.
Oh, like 3 minutes before.
He literally goes with his pinky and tries to
touch,
and then she moves away, and you can see her mouth say stop. And finally, she just gives in.
This is, by the way, this is not Melania and Donald holding hands.
So
this is George Bush Sr. and Jr. shaking hands. All right? I don't want anyone to confuse this with Donald Trump
and
Melania Trump, which is what we're talking about right now. All right, so now we're going to get into our immigration questions. We're going to make America great again by making America great for everybody.
Woo, woo.
For everybody. Not just a certain group of people, but for all groups of people. That's how we're going to make America great again. So right now, if you call with your immigration questions, we will be answering them. 1-800-529-5465. We're going to have Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson come out any second now, and with a big sign that says, call now, lines open. Here's Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. Any second will be, any second, there he is. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, ask me a question. 1-800-529-5465. 1-800-529-5465. There's no immigration question you can't ask.
No.
I promise you. And we're going to be answering your immigration questions for the next 24 and a half minutes. 24 and a half minutes of me just drowning you out with all of the immigration information in this very large head brain on Brad.
Look at the
big brain on Brad. All right, 1-800-529-5465. And Carol Anderson, the Tiger, says, yo, hi. 1-800-529-5465. Let's go to Melissa in Baltimore, Maryland. Melissa.
Hello.
Hi, Melissa. How are you?
Hi, how are you? I'm good.
What's going on?
I have a question.
Yes.
So I'm doing my paperwork for my green card.
Right.
And I have a lawyer, but I had my kids in Jamaica, and I want to do their paper through my husband. So for various reasons, I don't want to use this lawyer that I have now. Is it possible for me to use another lawyer? Let's say I want to use you or use somebody. Is it possible?
You have always the right. And this goes to anything, not just immigration. This goes if you're in a criminal case, in a personal injury case. It doesn't matter. You are the client. The lawyer works for you. You don't work for the lawyer. The lawyer works for you. Because you are the boss and the lawyer is your basic, I mean, he's not your employee, but he works for you. You have the right to hire and fire lawyers at your will. So if you're unhappy with your lawyer, you have every right to fire that lawyer, and you have every right to hire a different lawyer.
No, so my question is that I want to do my kids' paper, but I don't want to use this lawyer to do their paper. Is it possible I use another lawyer?
Yes.
And would it be okay for me to do their paperwork while my paperwork is still pending?
Yes.
It's not a problem either.
Not a problem. And you should do it. If you're married to a U.S. citizen, and your children were under 18 when you were married, your husband should be filing for them right now.
The oldest child is 16.
Your husband should be filing for them right now.
Okay, so they're in Jamaica. How long will it take for them to come here?
Assuming that he files for them now, approximately 1 year.
Okay, quick question for you. Do you do payment plan at your office?
Do I do what?
Payment plan.
Yes, we do. We have very good payment plans, as a matter of fact. Most people only pay a couple $100s a month. It's not bad.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Hold on 1 second, all right?
All right, thank you.
1-800-529-5465. Let's go to Dorothy in the Bronx. Dorothy?
Hi, Brad.
Hi,
Good
how are
afternoon. I'm fine. 10 years ago, you really helped me where my son got his green card. His file was put away by another person's name. His name was put away. You helped me to get his green card.
Good.
Now the question I have is, his father got his citizenship when he was 15, and his green card is going to be expired next month. And he's trying to do the N-400 form, but he keeps saying something about his naturalization, my son.
All right, so your question is basically, is your son a citizen because of the father became a citizen when he was 15? That's what you're asking.
Yes.
So you don't know, because there's two different forms. There's the N-600 that says I'm a citizen since my father was a citizen when I was 15. And then there's the N-400, which means I'm not a citizen, I have a green card, and I would like to naturalize to a citizen. So let me ask you a few questions. And by the way, thank you for calling, and thank you for letting everyone know that I did a good job for you. I don't particularly, I don't particularly remember you, Dorothy, but I don't remember your voice, but I'm sure if you came and saw me, I would remember your face. So, Dorothy, let me ask you a question. Your son, he's how old right now?
He's 34 now.
He's 34 right now, so I got to do math. Who's good at math here?
Kind of.
You're good at math? Mm-hmm. Okay, if he's 34 years old, when was he 18? What year? Come on, Yo-Yo! What? What year was he born?
84.
84.
He was born in 84.
So then 94, 2002, he was turned 18.
There you go.
Okay,
yes.
All right, so there I go. Yo-Yo is telling me I'm correct. All right, so did he live with the father?
Okay, he lived with me, but the father was here in Brooklyn. I'm in Bronx, but, you know, we keep a close connection where, you know, I come and see them.
All right, so it's basically it's a close call. So this is what the law said, okay? Law says that if you lived with the parent who was a U.S. citizen prior to your 18th birthday, and if you were under 18 as of February 2001, and you lived in the legal and physical custody of the U.S. citizen parent, then you're a citizen. I think where we're going to have a problem is I don't think he was living in the legal and physical custody of the father. He would come and visit. Yes. So because of that, based on the facts that you're telling me, he is not a citizen, and he would have to naturalize.
Oh, so can he apply for a passport?
No, he would have to do the N400.
Even if the father go with him to the passport office with his...
Yeah, the father taking a trip with him to the passport office doesn't make him a citizen. What makes him a citizen is, did he live with his U.S. citizen? This is what you need to prove. It's not just say, this is what we're going to say, okay? Because this is about citizenship. So they're going to look at this, okay? What you need, let me finish let me just finish my sentence. What you need to prove is that this boy, who's now 34, he's a man, but when he was a boy under the age of 18, he lived in the physical and legal custody of the U.S. citizen parent.
Okay.
And I don't think, based on what you told me, that's what you're saying. So my guess is...
So with the father getting his citizenship when he was 15...
Again...
you wouldn't be automatic... Oh.
No, because you have to be... Not only the father has to be a citizen, there's three things that have to happen. The father has to be a citizen, you got to live with the father has to have legal custody. All three. So what you're saying is the father became a citizen, but we don't have the legal custody, and we certainly don't have the physical custody because he wasn't living with the father.
Okay, another question now. His green card is going to be expired next month.
Yes.
Can he go ahead now and file the N400 form?
Yes.
Okay.
All right, and hold on if you need help, okay?
Okay.
All right. 1-800-529-5465. I do have to remind everybody two other things, which I failed to remind people. And by the way, Dorothy, Kevin, Jacqueline, Junior, and Lillianne, I'm coming to you. I'm coming for you. I'm coming for every one of your questions. I promise you. But before I get there, I do have to remind everybody that if you're shy like me and you have a problem being outspoken like me, and you have a problem with your words coming out of your mouth, but you have 10 fingers, you can type your question, and you can speak to Belgium Kim, and you can speak to Jonathan Yo-Yo Elias, and at 6:30, they're going to ask your questions from the comments in our Facebook feeds to me in our social media check-in. In the meantime, we are going to continue answering questions from people who call 1-800-529-5465. And coincidentally, that is the same telephone number as my law office. So you can call my law office, and my law office puts you on my show. That's how it works. It's very cool. You only need one number to remember. Last thing I got to tell everybody, because I have a lot to say, obviously, right? Yeah. I talk a lot, don't I?
Especially today, but it's great.
I talk a lot.
It's called Bradshaw Live. You should.
I was talking to somebody last night. I was talking to somebody last night from like 10:30 at night on the phone. Till like almost 2 in the morning.
Oh, no.
Okay. Now you know it's not just another. There's something more than just All right. So she says to me, "Boy, you talk a lot." I said.
I told you that.
Yeah.
Oh, I like this girl.
Yeah. So anyway, last thing I got to tell everybody is please. Did the airplane just fly by and I didn't see it? Yeah. Share the Brad Show Live with your friends and family around the world. There comes the plane. Whoosh, whoosh. Don't we need like a plane?
Yeah.
Why am I? Yeah.
Propeller?
Yeah.
We're like, listen, everybody's got a lot of roles on this show. Sometimes we need to be.
Isn't that great?
Soundboard as well.
Isn't that great? The lawyer does his own sound effects. All right, let's go to Kevin in Danbury, Connecticut. Kevin.
Hello, good evening.
How are you?
I'm doing great. How about you?
Good. What's going on?
Okay, I have a question.
Yes.
Me and my wife got married, so she did the petition for me, and so we received a letter so we have an interview for the end of this month. Now we have an argument, and she decided not to go on the interview. What is the best advice you can give me? What should I do?
Well, I mean, the best advice is make up. Okay, and especially.
But no, if she decided not to go, decided not to go.
All right, so you don't have a lot of choices here. So when you're going for your conditional green card, it's one of three. Either you're going to make up, two, You're going to file some sort of abuse case that she was emotionally or physically abusive to you. Or 3, you're going to just not show up because you can't go by yourself to an interview unless there's abuse. And then at that point, you would have to get divorced and find another way to get a green card. You know, those are your 3 options. You got to really, when you're filing for your green card, you got to, you know, unfortunately, you got to walk on eggshells sometimes. You know, what'd you say? She was nasty to you?
Yeah, we were having a fight, and she said, "Okay, I'm not going to."
Yeah.
She wanted to prove a point that she's the, you know.
That she's the boss.
But,
yeah. Flowers work. Chocolates work. Take her out to a nice lobster dinner works.
Groveling.
All right. I you know, got to figure out how to work it out with her. Really, I mean, that's really what it is, Kevin. All right.
Okay.
All right, but I don't have another option for you at this point.
Okay.
All right, and if you need to come and talk to me, you can come talk to me, but that's really it at this point, all right? So hold on one second. All right, let's go to Junior in Bridgeport, Connecticut. Junior.
Hi, Brad.
Hey, what's up?
I got a question.
Yeah. All right. The reason why I can't speak to Junior is because Facebook doesn't like music. And then they will say we're copywriting people's music and then shut off our broadcast. So you cannot play music in the background, unfortunately. Let's go to Lillian in Los Angeles, California. Lillian.
Hello.
How are you?
Fine, Brad. Thanks God I was able to talk to you.
Yes.
Actually, I'm from Philippines, married to an American.
Okay.
Holding a temporary green card. My question is because I have one child, which is out of the country, but he's holding a B1, B2 visa. Okay, since already he's 21, they said no, he won't be able to. I have to wait that I'll get a citizenship before I can apply for him.
Why can't you apply for him as a permanent resident?
Oh, well, I don't have any idea really exactly. That's why I wanted
as long as he's single and not married.
No, he's single. He
then
just turned 21, and he's holding B1, B2 visa, the multiple visa as a tourist.
And you have your green card now?
A temporary.
You have a temporary green card. You can file for him right now today. Now, unfortunately, it's going to take 6-7 years, but you can start the filing. Why wait 5 years for you to become a citizen before you file for him? Doesn't make any sense.
Okay, so it's not true that he has to wait like say 12 years or 10 years.
No, it will be right now. The wait. I'll tell you what the wait is. Okay, the wait is if you file for him as a permanent resident. Oh well, from the Philippines, it's a lot longer, actually.
Well, he's not a Filipino. He's holding a Mauritian passport.
Oh, okay, fine. Okay, so then if he's not a Filipino, right now, permanent resident parents who filed for their children over the age of 21, you're a permanent resident even though you're conditional. You're still a permanent resident. You can file the I-130. September 8th, 2011. We are now in April 2018. Jonathan Yo-Yo Elias says he is a math wizard. How long, Jonathan Yo-Yo Elias, if somebody filed in September 8th, 2011, did they wait for their green cards?
If September
8th, 2011.
Okay, so that's...
it's about 6.5, 7 years, right?
Almost 7 years.
Almost 7 years, a little less right now. So that's what the wait is if you file for your son right now.
Okay, but another thing, Brad, what was the best thing? Like, if he comes here and I petition, or he will be out of because he's out of the country right now. But he can come to you at any time because he's holding a P1.
Yeah, you can file for him and he can come visit you, but he can't overstay his time.
So he can't be here while on petition?
No, because he'll be illegal. So you're going to file for him, and he can come and visit his mom, but he's not going to live here for about 6 years.
Yeah, but what would be the condition, Brad? Since if I file for him, they said if I file for him that he cannot come here anymore every now and then, every year.
Well, this is
true.
Well, I guess in theory the answer would be yes. Okay, in theory the law would say that, you know, if you're coming here on a visitor's visa and you filed the I-130, there's always a possibility at the airport that the government can say, hey, you're coming to live here, your mom has filed for you. Now, you know, if he's coming once a year for a week or two, I think the government would let it slide. If it's like he's coming for 6 months, leaving for a week, coming for 6 months, living for a week, and he has an I-130 filed, big problem. So it depends on what his travel thing is really looking like.
Because it's very sad. You know, I have only one child.
Right.
I know that he's 21. You know, I also think of him, of that he's there and I'm here. So if he can come and, well, on petition, I don't know exactly. But anyway, I wanted to have a sit with you.
So I think you're in Los Angeles. You don't have to come all the way to New York. We can do a phone consultation with me. So hold on 1 second and we can go through everything, okay? So hold on 1 second.
Okay.
All right. 1-800-529-5465. Nobody tells me where to go, so I guess I'll go to Alicia in Brooklyn. Alicia, how are you?
Hi, good afternoon.
Hi, Alicia. What's going on?
I'm calling to find out. My mom could file for my sister. My mom is a citizen, and my sister is 42.
Your mom can file for your sister who's a citizen and she's 42? Why not?
No, I asked him.
I'm saying why not? Go for it.
Okay.
Go for it.
No, because I know she overstayed her time. So
okay,
that's why
so anyone who overstayed their time would ultimately need a provisional waiver, but your mom should file for her. It's better than doing nothing.
All right, then. Thank you.
Hold on. Let's go to Jacqueline in Queens. Jacqueline.
Yes. How are you?
How are you?
Brock?
How you doing?
I'm good. I'm just asking a question.
Yes.
My sister, she was to do our interview in March, but they have the snowstorm, so they put it off. So I'm asking how long it will take.
What kind of interview was she going for?
For citizen.
And they put it off in March and hasn't been rescheduled yet?
Yes, then put it off through the snow.
Okay, I understand. I understand. So it's now, what are we now in end of April? You got to give it 90 days for them to schedule it again. If they haven't scheduled it by the end of June, call me.
By the end of June?
Yeah, it should be about 90 days to reschedule.
Okay,
all right.
Thank you. From that date. From that date.
Correct.
Thank
approximately.
You. Listen.
What?
Rob, what station you're on now?
I'm not on any radio station. This is where you find me.
Oh,
this is it. You only find me one place. You can look at this face for 2 hours. But this is it. This is it. I'm not on any radio anymore.
Yes.
So
thank you.
I've graduated. I've graduated to digital media. Okay. No longer radio.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Yes,
all right.
Thank you.
And for those who don't know, I did a radio show here in New York City for about 20 years, and we said goodbye to the radio show.
20 years?
Yeah, since 1999.
Wow. Do you miss it?
No.
Good.
I like this. This is fun.
You get to look at yourself, too.
I get to look at myself. What better thing is that? All right, let's go to Debbie in Atlanta, Georgia. Debbie.
Yes, hi.
How are you?
Nice talking to you.
Nice
I have
talking
so many
to you.
friends that did their paperwork through you so many years ago in New York.
Great.
My question is,
yes,
if your daughter has a got her citizenship through her dad, who was a United States citizen while we were living together, but she does not have a certificate, will there be a problem renewing her passport at this time?
No, as long as she was a citizen, she's a citizen. Shouldn't be a problem.
Okay.
The only problem is that if they gave her a passport and she wasn't a citizen. But assuming she's a citizen, then yeah, she's a citizen. Just because you don't have your certificate of citizenship doesn't mean you're not a citizen. Okay, you just got to. Now, me personally, I would file for the certificate of citizenship anyway, and just and that way you have 2 forms of documentation to prove you're a citizen.
How would you get a United States passport if you're not a citizen?
Well, sometimes the U.S. Passport Office screws up, but for 99.99% of the time, you're a citizen.
Okay, I have a second question.
Yes.
If you went in for an interview and were denied because they could not find the access point of your entry into the country, is there any other way you can go?
Yeah, you can try to request immigration. There's at least 3 or perhaps even 4 places you could look to try to get an entry document. You can do an I-102 application for a replacement I-94. You can go online and look for the I-94. You can do a Freedom of Information Act request, and you can do what's called the CBP FOIA, which is a Customs Border Patrol FOIA, which is they go to the airport and look for the entry at the airport. So there's four different government offices that may have your entry document. The USCIS officer is not doing a very active search looking for it. They say, just look through the computer, I don't see it, forget it, and they're moving on. They're not doing a thorough investigation looking for your entry. So there's plenty of people who were denied their adjustment applications because immigration said, we don't have a legal entry, and they're saying, wait a second, what are you talking about? Of course I made a legal entry. And then they just got to do some more work to look for it, that's all. So maybe we can help still. So hold on one second, okay?
Okay.
All right. So now Junior knows no music. Okay. All right, we're going to test this out. Junior!
What's up, man? What's up?
What's happening? No music, Junior.
No music. Okay, I heard it this time.
All right, what's up?
Yeah, I got 3 small questions for you.
3.
All right.
Number one.
Yeah. Number 1. The first one is for my friend.
Okay.
She came up in December on a visiting visa. She got married in December. And
she's going to need a waiver.
Okay.
Because she got married within the first 30 days of her entry. She will definitely need a waiver.
Okay, that's what I was telling her, so I want to record it.
She needs a lawyer. Number 2.
All right.
Number 2.
The second question. All right, I'm a permanent resident. I got my green card through my previous wife. I'm married now to my next wife. But I can't file for her until like 2 more years. So I was wondering, I just heard you were saying about the raid that they got in New York.
Correct.
Immigration. So we got a kid together. Does like that could be like a solid proof if push comes to shove?
Is that solid proof? It's a solid proof that you guys are in a real marriage. Yes. That doesn't just say, okay, because you got a kid together and you're in a real marriage, you're not going to get deported. Now I will say this: you've had a green card for how long now?
2 years, mash.
2 years, okay, and you already divorced your first wife, and now you're married to this woman, and now you got 3 more years to wait before you can file for her. The odds that immigration is going to find her are extraordinarily small. I wouldn't lose sleep over it. Number 2, if they do, it's very possible we would be able to drag it out long enough until you become a citizen. All right, I can't guarantee you, but it's very possible. Okay. So don't lose sleep yet. Don't lose sleep yet.
Okay.
All right.
Third.
Oh, I forgot 3. I was ready to say goodbye, Junior. 3. Okay, what's the third?
All right. Now, if a 19-year-old, she came up on a visa through her mom got filed for her, she came under her mom, could she go down and marry to someone else?
Yes.
Like in a different country, get through?
Yep.
At the age of 19?
Yes, you're legally allowed to get married at 19.
Okay, got you. That's a question.
All right, all good.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. All right. All right, so now we are at, by the way, everybody, I'm going to fly around the world again and tell everybody to please share with your friends and family. Let me fly around. All right, with my open shirt. Open shirt. There we are.
He's not cold.
There we are. I am not cold at all. Well, I fly low. I don't really fly high in the air. You know, I try to keep it low. I go in between the buildings, because if you go high.
Around the world.
Yeah. And by the way, if I was too high up in the air, you would lose consciousness. You would die anyway.
No shield, no
but I'm like a Superman. Don't worry about it. I'm Dwayne the Rock. That's like Dwayne the Rock Johnson stuff there,
You guys are really going into the logistics of this.
I mean, when you think about it, I was just talking. There's Dwayne the Rock running around.
Right.
I was just, how stupid some movies are. I was just talking to Jill about this the other day. I was reading an article about how you have to suspend belief in
Right.
certain
Yeah.
movies.
Yeah.
You know, like, did you see Wonder Woman, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, everyone saw Wonder Woman, a very good movie.
Yes.
You know, she lives on an island full of Amazon women. Nobody has seen this island for thousands of years. Yet, all of a sudden, a boat and a plane go right through in 2 seconds, and then they were close enough to row to England. All right? So how are they close enough to row to England, right? How are they close enough to row to England, but nobody in 1,000 years from England ever came across this island?
You're just supposed to allow
Just supposed to allow it. All right. So we have a whole bunch of people on hold right now, but we're up to our social media. So we have to now say goodbye to calling 1-800-529-5465.
Yep.
And we are going to be answering your social media questions in our social media check-in. Da-da-da! Da-da-da! You know, eventually we're going to keep doing this, and one day they'll actually put music to it.
Just keep on doing it until then.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll just.
But we will be coming back to answer your questions very shortly. But right now, we're going to be answering your questions on Facebook, whether it's on Spar Bernstein or Bradshaw Live. We're going to start with Belgium. Cam, what do you got?
Our first question is from Debs, and Debs really wants to know if you were denied your visa before because you could not show any kind of entry point, what's your other option? I think we had a caller that was
I think
similar
we got that
to
call.
this.
You can do an I-102, you can do a CBP FOIA, you can do a regular USCIS FOIA, you can CBP FOIA, USCIS FOIA, I-102. You have 3 different ways you can get your try to get some sort of entry document.
Awesome.
Or go online. I knew there was a 4th one. Go online to the I-94 online. You can do that too.
Hey guys.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Hey there. Hey now. Hey now.
All right. Sankay White. Hey, wonderful people. I have 2 questions. All right, there's 2 questions right here. All right, one for myself and one for an in-law. So my in-law was deported for using a deceased identity. However, she's married to a retired veteran living in Jamaica. He recently got injured and was airlifted back to the States at the veteran hospital for treatment. He might become crippled. Is there a waiver that applies to their situation? That's the first question.
The answer is yes. You could always get a waiver through marriage, and even if you were previously deported, as long as you weren't deported for drugs.
Okay. All right. So her second question is, my mom is filing for me. I'm unmarried. How long after the file goes? How long after the files got submitted will I be contacted for medical?
If you're married and your mom's a citizen, you're waiting about 12 to 14 years.
Unmarried.
Unmarried, about 7 years. If you're over 21.
Dane would like to know if you get stopped by ICE agents, which is something that's happening a lot these days. If you get stopped by ICE agents, could your alien number save you from getting detained?
No, it could not. An alien number is just a file number with immigration. It depends on what's inside of that file, which will determine whether or not you get detained.
All right. One from Lorna Bennett. Good evening. My son put in his I-130. When can he put in his 485?
Who's filing for your son?
All right. Say
Why are we talking like this? Isn't that how you answered the question?
Yep.
Okay. I don't know. I'm just following.
I feel like that's how she said it.
Yeah. Okay. I have no idea. You just put tone in. You just absolutely put tone in the question when maybe she was a very nice woman.
You know,
You have
she
no
wants
idea.
to make sure her son is getting.
I don't know who's filing. It depends on who's filing.
So
for
how about if she is?
Is her son over 21, under 21? We need to know more information.
You can't give.
I can't. I don't know. There's too much. Too much.
Right,
Tell
guys.
me more information.
Details.
How old's your son? Who's filing? How did he come to the United States? Then I can tell you more.
Lorna Bennett.
Yes.
Details.
Details. The devil's in the details.
Yes, it is.
Yes.
Mishka wants to know, good evening. How long is USCIS currently taking to process an I-130 for a spouse?
About 8 months.
All right.
Did you just say bastards?
No, I said fast.
Oh, I thought you.
But in my
it's
best
not
Southern
fast. It's
drawl.
not fast. It's long.
Well, 8 months compared to all the other wait times that you have to give.
10 years,
8, 9 months.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought you just said bastards.
We could.
I said Belgium kid. I mean, calm down here a little bit.
Get me riled up.
All right, next.
All right. Lorna McPherson. If I'm a citizen and I file for my husband, how long does it take for him to be with me in the USA?
14, 15 months now, if you do it right.
Micah wants to know, the lawyer said on this show, I'm assuming you would be the lawyer on this show, that an F1 student who has overstayed his student visa does not need a waiver if he goes back home to get his green card. Can he explain why, please?
Yes, I can.
Perfect. That's great. Next question.
You want me to explain or you just want to know whether I can explain?
I think she wants you to explain.
She wants me to explain. All right, I'll explain. All right, so because when you come on an F1 on your I-94 and on your entry document, they put D/S, which means duration of status. There is a big difference between being out of status and being what's, oh boy, I just lost my train of thought now. Being out of status and calculating that being out of status based on your I-94. So they calculate it based on what the date is on your I-94. So for example, if you come on a tourist visa, they say you have to leave the country by June 1st, 2018. You have to leave by July 1st, 2018. Whatever that date is, they calculate, okay, you didn't leave by July 1st, 2018. If you've overstayed by more than 1 year, you have a 10-year bar. If you've overstayed by more than 180 days, you have a 3-year bar. Because on a student visa and on a J-1 visa, they don't give a date in which you had to leave the United States. The way the law is written is that they can't determine what day you fell out of status based on the way the law is written. So until people who came on student visas or J-1 visas, until you apply to change your status and get denied, or until the government tells you to leave the country, you do not have a 10-year bar if you leave the country. How's that?
That was beautiful.
Yeah, that was
beautiful.
Thorough.
All right. Maria Chambers. All right, good evening, everyone. My husband is a green card holder. Is it possible when he visits Jamaica, he could take me and the children to the embassy to get a visitor's visa until he files for us? So the children are 25 years old, 16 years old, and 11.
He can absolutely take you to the U.S. Embassy. There's no reason why he can't. But I will tell you, when you walk into the U.S. Embassy, they will say no visa for you, no visa for your children, because you are married to a permanent resident, and the U.S. Embassy will believe that you are all going to live in the United States out of status. Your husband has to file for everybody.
Hayden wants to know, how long does it take to file for your kids who are over 21 years old?
If you're a citizen, 7 years. If you're a resident, 8 years. If they're married and you're a citizen, 15 years. If they are married and you're a resident, forever. You can't do it.
All right, Simone Blair. I'm a British citizen, but was denied when I applied for a ESTA because I was denied a visa while living in Jamaica from 1980. What can I do?
Go to the U.S. Embassy and apply for a visa again. You're now a British citizen. You presumably are not going to be overstaying your time in the United States, but you need to go to the U.S. Embassy and apply for the visitor's visa.
Keisha says, if someone came here, Laverne said, I'm an American citizen. Could I file for my 28-year-old daughter? She went to both high school and college here, but I was told I have to prove hardship. Is that true? And if so, how do I do that?
You can file for your daughter. She's going to be on a waiting list for a while. And then at the end, if she's overstayed her time, she would have to do a provisional waiver, which is the hardship you're talking about, to go home and come back. You don't have to worry about that right now because she has about a 5-6 year wait before you have to do it. What hardship is? There's economic hardship. There's emotional hardship of being separated from a parent. There's maybe perhaps your particular hardship that you maybe need her services for some reason. Your psychological hardship. There's a lot that we can get into.
Evangelist Forrest. If I apply for a work visa, will they cancel my visitor's visa?
Most likely, if it's denied. If it's approved, they will not.
Singh would like to know, I live in Queens. How long does it take to get a divorce, and how can you get deported?
Okay, a divorce in Queens will take about 6 to 8 months, but if it's an uncontested divorce and you live in New York for more than 2 years, you can pick any county you want. You can go to Rensselaer County, anywhere upstate, where they got nothing to do up there. Okay, so you can get divorced literally upstate in a couple of weeks. So you can pick as an uncontested divorce any county. If it's going to be contested, then you got to do it in Queens, and then you're not worried about how long it's going to take because you're fighting out a divorce, which could take years. As far as how do you get deported, violate your immigration status, become inadmissible, become deportable. There's entire books on things that you can do to get deported.
All right, Sharon Brown. Hi, Brad. My cousin got approved January 3rd, 2018 on an F3 category. Then in April, she got P3AU letter from NVC.
A-OK!
Stating that they don't have any available visa right now. Do you know how long this will take?
What is the priority date? When was it filed?
It got approved January 3rd.
The priority date's the date it was filed. Did she tell you?
No, don't have that.
Okay, where is she from?
It doesn't say all that.
If you are from anywhere in the world outside of China, India, Mexico, and the Philippines, you will be waiting approximately, as of now, 13 years. If you are from the Philippines, you will be waiting 23 years. If you are from Mexico, you will be waiting 20 years.
Oh my God.
If you are from India, you will be waiting 12 years. So basically, it's 12 years from everywhere except Mexico is 20 and the Philippines is 23 years.
Oh my God. That's insane.
And now you're supposed to say bastards.
Bastards.
Wow,
that's gonna be my new tagline. You know how you don't like, sometimes I go woo and sometimes I go okay. Now I'm just gonna go bastards. Marva would like to know, my friend's daughter was gonna be going to college in the US, but she's only 16 years old. So her mother and her 12-year-old sister want to join her. What should they do, Brad?
What and what?
What?
Huh?
Huh?
Say that again.
Say what? Friend's daughter, so let's say the daughter in this case, is going to college in the United States, but she's only 16, so mom is a little worried about letting her go to the U.S. all by her lonesome, so she wants to know how she and the 12-year-old sister can join the 16-year-old.
Are you serious on that question?
That's a real...
Maybe
not in college with her, but...
I'm going to send my daughter to college. I'm concerned about her going to college in America, so therefore I would like to go accompany her with my daughter, and we're all going to live there while she goes to college.
Right.
No such visa for that, sorry.
Yeah.
All right, then don't send your daughter to college in America.
That's fair.
All right. What else?
All right, Sherry Gordon. For parents who are green card holders to file for children unmarried and over 21 years old, can it take less than 7 years once the filing has started? Are there other options available?
Say this again.
So for parents who are green card holders filing for their unmarried children that are over 21 years old.
There's other options. It's not the parents filing for them. Maybe they can do a job sponsorship. There's a lot of different ways to get a green card. So just because a family sponsorship, a family reunification case takes a long time doesn't mean that's the only option. There's plenty of ways to get a green card. You got to figure it out. So let's do this. One more question each. We got a whole bunch of people on hold still. I want to get to that. And then we have some other surprises down the line.
All right.
Ooh, I like surprises.
Yes.
Esther wants to know, is it okay for me to travel with a stamp in my passport? And what if I'm stopped by ICE? My last interview was August 7th of last year, and I haven't heard anything yet, so should I be worried about anything in case ICE does stop me?
I don't know what stamp in the passport you have. So tell me the stamp in the passport, then I'll tell you if it's okay.
All right. I'm trying to find Lorna's old message because she has a follow-up. So Lorna Bennett, she's saying that the guy is 36 years old. He's married to a U.S. citizen for 1 year. Since they got married, he came up on a visiting visa, but I don't really remember what.
I don't know what her first question was. So what is it? So she's the guy's married and wants to get a green card?
Let's say that.
All right, so file an adjustment. Okay, well, Lorna will have to figure it out and text you back.
Lorna,
to make a comment back. Do the whole thing again.
Just the whole question. All right, don't break it up.
All right, so let's go to Amadou in Philadelphia. Amadou, how are you?
Hey, Brad, how
What's
are you?
happening? What's going on?
I have a few questions for you. I applied for I-485 about 2 years ago. We had an interview.
Right.
And I think everything went good. So from 2016 to now, I didn't hear anything from the USCIS. I went through the info pass about 2-3 times with my wife, and the second time we went to the info pass, the immigration officer told us the case is under the investigation. Then after 7 months, we didn't hear anything again.
Do you have an attorney? Do you have an attorney? Because
Yes,
this is now
I have
going
a
on.
lawyer.
This is going on 2.5 years, and you don't have a green card yet.
Say
So
again?
this is going on 2.5 years, and you don't have a green card yet.
No, yet still I'm pending. And my lawyer write the senator, and they respond us that the case is under the FBI name check. That was like
All right. So what
2
you
weeks ago.
what you need to do is this. Okay.
Mhm.
You need to go to a lawyer who will be a little more proactive for you. Okay. When immigration doesn't do their job after 2.5 years, it's called lawsuit time. Okay, you either file a mandamus action against them or an APA claim, which is Administrative Procedures Act claim, in federal court. You first threaten to do it, and then if they don't do anything, then you actually do it. You got to follow through with your threats. And what a mandamus or an APA claim is, hey, you got to do your job. And your job is to process my application in a reasonable amount of time. Either give me thumbs
Right.
up or thumbs down, but you can't just hold my case forever. Okay, and that's what you
Right.
need to do. So hold on one second. Let's go to Marsha in Charlotte, North Carolina. Marsha.
2.5 years.
Marsha, you got it? Wait, Marsha. Marsha. Turn down whatever you're listening to, and just listen into your phone. Marsha in Charlotte, North Carolina.
And what a mandamus.
Marsha. Ay. She hasn't caught up yet. All right, Althea in Stone Mountain, Georgia. Althea.
Hello, hi, Brad.
How are you?
I'm doing good.
What's
I
going
have
on?
a friend. He's married to a U.S. citizen, and he came up with his son. His son's mother is in New York, and she told him that she was going to file for his son. Now, he proceeded with his paperwork, and he's waiting for an interview, but just recently found out that his son was not filed for through his mother. So he's asking, do he wait until he gets his green card, or is there any way he can put his son
How old
on
is the
his-
son?
His son is 8.
Okay, and he's married to a U.S. citizen?
Yeah.
Okay, so the wife, the U.S. citizen wife, can file an adjustment for the son and get him his green card right away. That's what should happen.
Okay, so they should file the paperwork for him now?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, thank you so
You're
much.
welcome. All right. Let's go to Winston in Eastport, Florida. Winston.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Hi, how are you?
Not too bad.
All right,
I'm just trying to find out if you're married to somebody and they're doing the paperwork for you, if you got to put in the paperwork as a package, or you can do it piece by piece.
No, put it in as a package. Piece by piece, you're getting nowhere.
Oh, piece by piece, nowhere.
Nowhere. Piece by piece is nowhere. You got to put the whole thing, the whole enchilada.
Oh, okay.
All right? Hold on if you need help. All right, let's go to Antoinette in New York, my hometown. Yeah. All right.
Hi,
Antoinette,
how are you?
How are you?
I'm good,
I'm very
thank you.
excited. I'm speaking to someone from New York.
No worries.
Yes. What's
Same
going on?
here.
All right.
I just have a question for an international student.
Yes.
The student is currently a student, yes, F1 status, and she is desirous of getting married to a U.S. citizen.
Wonderful.
So we want to know where along the line will the status switch, and more so because she's wondering whether or not during the process if she can travel back home, let's say on school breaks.
Okay, so this is the answer. As soon as she gets married, provided it's a bona fide marriage and they're going to be living together as husband and wife, you put in the adjustment application right away for her green card. Once she puts in the adjustment, she's going to get work permission in approximately 4 months and also advance parole, which is a travel document. She is going to travel back and forth on school breaks on the advance parole. Student visa is no longer valid. She will then ultimately get an interview for a green card a few months later and get her green card.
Oh, so that's a total of how long?
Yeah, about 9 months.
About 9 months.
In
But
New York.
so she would continue to be
go to school.
considered.
She would be, once the adjustment goes in, she has a pending adjustment application. She's a pending application for a green card. She's legal to be here in America. She'll get a work permit. She'll get special travel permission called advanced parole, but she's no longer on a student visa. But she can still go to school.
Okay.
But she can still go to school.
Appreciate it.
Yes.
Appreciate it.
All right.
Thank you so much.
You're very welcome.
Good. Bye-bye.
All right. Let's go back to Marsha.
I think she's got it together.
She's got it together.
I have hope.
Okay. Let's see. What do you think?
I think she's gonna have it handled.
From South Carolina, right?
Yeah, I think.
Her girl.
She's from North Carolina.
North Carolina.
I was gonna say that's my girl. That's my girl.
She's from North Carolina.
Okay,
Marsha,
we got this, Marsha. We got this.
All right, and Peter and Jan have talked to her, and Peter and Jan have said,
Set her
Marsha,
straight.
set her straight. So let's go to Marsha. Marsha, how are you?
I'm doing okay.
All right, what's happening?
I am in the process of applying, or I'm trying to apply for adjustment of status.
Right.
I am currently on a J1 work visa.
Great.
My status ends June. Well, my visa expires June 30th.
Mm-hmm. What are you doing here on a J1 visa? Could I ask you that question?
I'm a teacher.
Okay. Do you have a 2-year home residence requirement?
Yes, I have done the waiver.
You have it. You have it approved already.
Yes.
Okay. So then, and you married right now?
Yes, I'm currently married.
Okay. So put in your adjustment.
What I'm trying to ask is, am I able to do it concurrently, both the I-130 and the 485?
Yes, and you should be doing it that way.
Okay.
All right.
How long does that take to?
In North Carolina, I mean, I don't know off the top of my head, but I would say 6, 8 months, 7 months, 9 months, in that range.
Okay.
All right. And if you need help, hold on. All right, because you're asking me that question, you know, and you're a smart lady, you're a teacher, you know. But if you're asking me this question, you're going to need help. At least have a consultation. Okay. So hold on one second. All right. All right. So that was Marsha.
And she got it together.
She got it together.
Yes, she did.
Okay, from North Carolina. It's almost like any place in the world, Belgium can come like, yeah, that's my home. Right. So calls from Belgium. Yeah, Belgium.
Yeah.
Montana.
Oh yes, I once visited. Yes.
Yeah, there was a layover there one time.
All right. 1-800-529-5465. Let's go to Javon in Boston, Massachusetts. Javon.
Hello.
Hey, what's up?
I have a quick question for you.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm married to a permanent resident and she put in her paperwork to be a citizen like 2 months ago, and I have overstayed on my visa for like from 2016, is it okay if I put in my 485 and
No, it's not okay. No. You wait for her to be a citizen before you're putting in your I-45. If you're very anxious right now, put in an I-130, but nothing's going to happen until she's a citizen. As long as there's no reason why she won't become a citizen, my advice would be at this point, just wait it out. It's going to be another 6 months. She'll be a citizen, then put everything in. But you can't do it until she's a citizen.
Okay. Would I need a waiver?
Do you have a criminal record?
No.
Have you ever lied to the government?
No.
Do you have any communicable diseases?
No.
Do you smoke weed, and would it be in your medical exam?
No.
Okay, that was a little less of a no, but okay, we'll take it.
This is on the air?
No. So, I mean, the answer is there's no reason why you would be denied and need a waiver. Just because you overstayed, it's fine.
I was looking at some documents, on the 485, and it was saying if I went on a J1 visa, I would need the DS form like for whenever I'd done the visa.
Right. Did you do a J1 visa?
Yeah.
Okay, and then you came back on a tourist visa, or you're on the J1 now?
Yes. No, I'm on the tourist.
Okay. So just call back whatever the organization that did your J1, they would have a copy of the DS.
Okay.
All right? All right, and you can do that now while you're waiting for it to become a citizen. You're fine.
Well, if I can't find the place that did it, would it be any?
It's not the end. It's not. Well, were you out of the country for more than 2 years? Did you have a 2-year home residence requirement?
Yes.
Were you out of the country for more than 2 years?
I've been here from 2016.
Were you out of the country for 2 years on your J1 visa?
Oh no.
So and you had a 2-year home residence requirement?
No, it was 6 months.
When you came on a J1 visa, one of the requirements is that you have to stay home for 2 years. It says on your visa, subject is bearer to 212E, or it says on your visa, subject is not bearer. If it says you are a bearer, then you have a 2-year home residence requirement. If it says that you're not a bearer to 212E, then you do not have a home residence requirement. So I think in your particular case, since you're asking all of these questions, you would need a consultation so we can figure it all out for you. Hold on one second. Let's go to Carlos in Albany, New York. Carlos. Carlos, how are you?
Good. What's up, guys?
What's up?
But I have a quick question from my friend. What's happening is he married to a U.S. citizen, and now he should be able to get a green card, but he wants to apply for citizenship, but he has a fight. They have a misdemeanor. He has a misdemeanor, but the case is dropped. He wonder if he can still do it, or he has to be. He's not convicted for anything or guilty or anything.
As long as the case was dropped and the case was dismissed, he's fine.
Okay, if the case is dismissed, is okay.
Yep.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. That was easy. Let's go to Nicole in Springfield, Massachusetts. Nicole.
Hi, how are you? I'm doing good myself.
What's going on?
I'm a U.S. citizen, and my husband came in the country on a visitor's visa.
Right.
And we just got married April 14th, and he came up February 14th. His son is here, and his son came up in March 20. Is it okay for me to go ahead and start the process of filing?
No. You got married within the first 60 days. What the law says is if you get married within the first 90 days, it could show an intention of coming to on a visitor's visa with the intention of getting a green card, and that could cause a huge problem, certainly for the son, perhaps even for your husband. Before you do anything more, and before you even say anything more, what I would suggest that you do is have a consultation with us. So hold on one second, okay? Do not file for him. Hold on. All right, 1-800, there it was, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. By the way, I'm expecting a letter from his representatives any day for me to stop saying that Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson is saying call Brad. What?
I'm nervous about it.
I'm not nervous about it. I'm just expecting the letter. Dear Mr. Bernstein, stop using the body of Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson on your head asking people to call. All right, what do you got on social media? We're going to end our show. We have about 6 minutes to go. Social media check-in. What do you got?
Jang wants to know.
Jang.
Not
dang.
Jang. It's Jang Ang.
Jang
Ang. I like that name.
Okay.
Jang Ang wants to know. I just want to ask if you think that there's a chance for my case to be approved, because I was petitioned by my mom just 3 years ago and was approved, but unfortunately she died 2 years ago. I filed my 204I last year, and I've been here since 2015.
204L.
204L. There it is, lowercase.
Yes.
I've been here since 2015. Do you think it's possible to wait here? And if so, is there any chance I'm actually going to get approved?
Yeah, as long as you have someone to step in for you, yeah, you can absolutely get approved. We can help you. But if your mom filed for you in 2014 and she passed, you're not eligible to adjust yet. So filing a 204L, you do it in conjunction with your adjustment application. So hold off there for a second and come see us.
All right, Jeff Bosley says, I still want to know if jaywalking is still enforced.
Jeff. That was great.
Kim, what do you got?
Jeff did have a follow-up and said, if it is, I should be standing still.
You might really want to know. I tried.
It could be. It could
Belgium
be.
Kim, what else you got?
Nandine has a real immigration question.
Yes.
She's wondering, if a person went for their interview in December for their green card, how long will they know if it's approved? It's been over 4 months now.
I mean, honestly, if it's 4 months and you haven't, I'm still making faces from Jeff. Yeah. I didn't realize that. If it's been 4 months and you haven't heard yet, it sounds like maybe they're investigating something. If you're concerned, come see me. I don't know how long it will be. I wasn't there.
Sorry. All right. Love Trudy says she's going to Canada with a visitor's visa to work. Will they interfere with her visa?
I don't know if I'm not a Canadian immigration lawyer, but it doesn't sound like you can go on a visitor's visa to work to Canada. Sorry. I'm making faces now.
Yeah. Thanks, Jeff.
Yeah, thanks, Jeff. Can't stop it now.
You've gotten Brad's face all perplexed.
Yes, exactly. Jaywalking.
Jaywalking.
That's what we had to stop the show for?
Kimmy's mom said she wanted to know, too.
Thanks, Mom. Patrica wants to know, good afternoon, you guys. I'm enjoying your program. Thanks, Patrica. We're enjoying you. So if your siblings file for you, could you still apply for a visitor's visa?
I mean, you can, but I mean, the odds are that you would be turned down because you've already shown an intention of trying to get your green card.
All right, Tafsir Berry. A friend of mine went for a citizenship interview about 2 years ago, and she was denied because they said they don't know how she got her green card. What can she do, and how can you help her get this done?
She doesn't know how she got a green card. What I think the first step is do what's called a Freedom of Information Act request and ask immigration to send us a copy of every piece of paper they have in the file about this woman, and we'll figure out how she got a green card and then how she becomes eligible for her citizenship. Maybe there's some sort of fraud here, so we got to look into it.
Patrina has found herself in a very interesting situation.
In a pickle.
She's in a pickle, Brad.
In a pickle.
It's a true pickle.
A true pickle.
I really like saying the word pickle.
That's kind of disgusting.
Okay,
why is that disgusting?
Yeah, why is pickle disgusting?
Why does that remind you of? What does that remind you of?
Yeah, what do you think of? What do you think of pickle?
Harry Pickle. If you say that, like, it's just like pickle. Harry Pickle.
Harry Pickle.
Harry's Pickle. I don't even know what you're talking about now.
Pickle's just not a nice sounding word.
Pickle's funny. Makes you laugh.
It is. It's like bubble.
Yeah,
pickle.
it makes you laugh.
Well, if
you guys aren't laughing.
If you say Harry Pickle, I understand why you find that gross.
Or a Harry Pickle? What are you saying? A hairy pickle? What are you
That's
talking
all I
about?
think about when you say pickle.
I don't know what kind of phallic symbols you're thinking about with pickles. We're talking about a cucumber that's in some sort of
that's been pickled.
That's been pickled.
There you go.
All right. Yeah.
Oh no! That's not even fit.
Jill, we all heard that disgusting joke in our ear. All right, who wants to share that one?
No.
Is that going to be on you? Is that going to be on you? Now we got to tell the people.
Yeah, Groundhog Sam just said in my ear, I have a hairy pickle. Groundhog Sam. Come on, Sam.
Jill, you need to take better control of that mic. Don't let Groundhog Sam take it from you.
Sleep.
All right. What's the question?
Patrina's pickle is as follows.
Yes.
I came to the U.S.
It's the end of the show. You know we're going to be at the end of the show.
We told people at 7:29. That's when it's the tippy top.
Yeah.
Patrina says, I came to the U.S. to shop for 2.5 weeks. And I ended up having an incredibly premature baby at 26 weeks. And my visa has now expired. What do I do? Who do I turn to? Can you help?
I mean, you overstayed at this point. Come see me immediately. I don't have the answer, but you're going to need a consultation, obviously.
All right. Aset Lindo has 2 questions. How much are the fees for filing one's paperwork? That's the first one.
Depends what we're doing for you.
All right. And the second one is, if you're married to a citizen but he lost his job, how can he prove he's able to sponsor his spouse?
He can't, but you could always get a second affidavit of support. So, you know, if you're not working, you can't show that you can support your spouse. I mean, you can show assets if you have millions of dollars in assets, certainly. But assuming he doesn't, then you would need a second affidavit of support. All right, so what we're going to do is this. Grace has been waiting a while. So let me speak to Grace. I want to make sure she's taken care of. And then we're going to come back to Belgium, Kim, and Jonathan. You can talk amongst yourselves about what you believe are the comments of the day. And you can vote on it amongst yourselves. And maybe someone from Brad's squad on either one of our feeds wants to chime in and say, pick this one, no, pick this one. But in the meantime, I'm going to speak to Grace. You guys talk amongst yourselves. Grace, how are you?
Hi, good evening.
What's going on?
I'm asking a question for a friend. Do you have to pay to renew your work permit?
Generally, they've been approving them without doing it, but what I've been doing is filing it with the filing fee. And I would say on a majority of the times they have been sending back the filing fee. On a minority of times, it's really kind of random. On a minority of times they've been accepting it, and I don't want to file something and then have them reject it and then put the work permit back weeks. So I've been filing it with the filing fee, but expect them to mail the filing fee back to you.
Because I have a friend in New York. She just did hers. She did not pay, but my friend in Florida is telling me that she has to pay $450 to get it renewed.
That's why I'm telling you, it's such a randomness based on what happens. So what I've been doing in my office is filing it with the check, expecting them to return the check, but on a minority of times they've been taking it. But what I don't want to do is file it and then have it returned, and now you're 2 months behind waiting for a work permit.
Okay. When you say file it, you're talking about when you're doing the paperwork?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
All right.
I understand.
All
Okay.
right.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. All right. So now Jonathan and Belgium Kim, they've gotten together. Mm-hmm. They have huddled. Mm-hmm. And they have come up with, drum roll please, the comments of the day.
It was unanimous.
Uh-huh.
And the people voted.
People voted too.
The people voted too.
Right. This is this is the people's vote.
It's the people's vote, and the people have all agreed that Donald Trump loves golden showers, regardless of where he is.
I forgot about that. That was so long ago. That was so. I don't know if they're booing me or what. We gotta get a different laugh. We need a different laugh. I don't like that laugh. We need a different laugh on the subject. But I remember the golden shower thing. That was like a long time ago. It feels like a different show ago.
Days ago.
Days ago. Donald Trump with the golden showers. Yeah. All right. With that, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna piss off. We'll see you tomorrow. So, Sam, as part of the production, we have to say this disclaimer at the end of the show. Do you mind reading it for me?
Okay, but you know, Brad, I have to do everything around here. It's bad enough I've got to remember everything that happened on the episode from the previous day.
Forget it. I'll do it. The proceeding was information only and not specific legal advice. Consult an attorney about your individual situation. Prior successful results do not guarantee a similar outcome in the future. To make an appointment with the Spar and Bernstein law firm located at 225 Broadway in New York City, call 1-800-529-5465. That's 1-800-529-5465. Easy to remember, 1-800-LAW-LINK. That's 1-800-LAWLINK. Once again, make a call to 1-800-529-5465. And of course, link up with the law offices of Spar and Bernstein, located at 225 Broadway on the 5th floor. If I were you out there, make the call, make the link, make the connection, make it Spar and Bernstein. 1-800-LAWLINK. That's 1-800-529-5465. And now, conveniently located in Hartford, Connecticut on 1 Congress Street. Visit us in Connecticut or in New York at 225 Broadway. That's 1-800-529-5465. 1-800-LAW-LINK. 1-800-529-5465. What are you doing?